Check, 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 check. I did not. Ooh, that might be not. Check, check, check. 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Check, check. Check, check, check. Alright, we're good. Ooh, it's been a few days. It's been a few days. I'm gonna go for a run after this. And then do leg day. But I gathered up an army made of those. Oh, well, 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 Viz and Fatisha. Hi, Dada. That's right, bitch. I'm Dada. How's it going, Letitia? Your fans call you Fada, but bitch, my fans call me Dada. You're doing wonderful. You better. You better be doing wonderful. I'm gonna have to get the belt. You don't want me to get the belt on you, do you? You know what I like about you, Letitia? I like that you're not a whore. That's really refreshing. Sometimes you say things that make me a little bit like, but it's not bad. How am I? Oh, I'm doing great. I got a new car. I got a new car. Thanks, Dada. Okay. I got a new vehicle. I am in possession of a brand new car. Yeah, I saw. My parents want to get me a condominium. That might be too much. That might be too much. It's bomb. Yeah, I know it's bomb. I know it's bomb, dude. I've been trying to find a wife. By the way, I for some unknown reason, there's a lot of people who are like orphans in Austin. I've met like 3 people who don't have parents here in like a row, like over the span of a few days. My parents are visiting for the week, so that's why I've been away for a little bit. They've been all right. They've bought me a new skateboard. Oh yeah, let me show you my skateboard. Hold on, I got it in my car. Here's my new skateboard. Isn't it nice? Custom made. Blue trucks. I don't know why the fuck it's all scratched up, but that's okay. I got some new clothes and I got a new car, so we're all good. Sorry, my internet was gone. I said I'm gonna go get my skateboard. To the pool with my parents, and then probably go to the outdoor mall. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bro, my friend keeps touching me. She wants me to touch her back now. She's a fucking dyke. Don't do it. She's trying to be a lesbian. She's trying to be a lesbian. Don't be a lesbian. Darling, don't you go and cut your hair. Do you think it's gonna make them change? Can you bark? No. Donna? No. I'm not barking, bro. My mom didn't like my place. My mom did not like my apartment. She thought it was too small. And I was like, Mom, you are a woman and you are a materialist. I am not. I like my small apartment. You're sad? Why are you sad? Because you're fat? Just lose the weight, bro. Just drop the weight, dude. I'm kind of sad too that my parents are gonna be gone in the next 2 days. It feels like they just got here. Why the fuck are you sad, bitch? Stop being sad. because she likes it. She asked if you can sing. I don't sing to fatties. Skinny girls only. I will fuck you. Come on, that's not very nice. You know my terms. You already knew I don't sing to fat chicks. I only sing to skinny. Finger snap goat. Is the amp connected, Brody? No, it's not. Actually, it isn't. I'm trying to be quiet because it's 8 o'clock at fucking night, so I can't be playing loud and shit. You know what I mean? Finger snap. I got a new skateboard though. I went to the Vans store and got a custom built. It's a 8.25 width, blue trucks, cloud wheels. And the girl who made it was pretty cute. I didn't get her number though because I don't think she liked me. But she made it pretty nice. My dad was like, "How come you didn't get her number?" And I was like, "I don't think she liked me. I didn't feel the vibe." She was trying to like gauge how much money I had, and I was trying to gauge like if she was interested. I was like, "Hey, I need more like skate friends." That's like me opening the door for her to be like, "Oh, we can, something like that." But she was like, "Oh, I mean, if you ride around like skate parks and if a girl says something like that instead of like, taking the bait, that means she doesn't like you. It means she's just being nice." My parents didn't understand that. Your Vans the fuck out. I know, bro. I'm a brand ambassador now. I got a new car. I got a new skateboard. I got new clothes. I need to see you going steady with someone before I die, bro. Fuck you, bitch. I've been in one relationship in my entire life, and it was a high school fling. It lasted 8 months. So I was like, if it doesn't work out with you, I'm probably never gonna date again. That's what I told her in high school, and I guess I've been keeping my promise because holy fuck. Probably shouldn't have said that. Have you talked to her since then? No. She doesn't like me. She thinks I'm weird now. A lot of people do. I could kind of tell the girl at the van store, she was really nice and sweet and cute, but it's just the subtle things that people say in conversation where you can kind of gauge where their head's at. She was like, because her eyes kind of lit up when she thought I lived like in the apartments, like above the outdoor mall. You have to be very rich to live there. So her eyes were like, ink, when she thought I had a lot of money, and I was like, no, I live in the places nearby the fucking outdoor mall. And she's like, oh, okay. So I think she might have been like, which no, it's no harm. You know, that's how some girls are. They're looking at your pockets and shit. So I'm like, no. She was a manager for the fucking store, so she's making good money. So I don't think some women don't like when they make more money than the man. Some don't like it. You know, they kind of want to upgrade. She'd probably be more interested in my father because he's the one with the fucking money, not me. You cursed yourself? No, I didn't. I've been in flings since then, but they weren't like official, like dating. Well, damn, keep your head up, bro. I sense that you will find love again one day. Thank you, Finger Snap Goat. I like your optimism. Should we play chess? I want to go for a run and then do leg day real quick. Before it gets too late. Before it gets too late, you know what I'm saying? And then I want to go to a skate park this weekend. But I have a fucking. My semester starts on Monday for electrical engineering. I have Calculus 2 and an engineering class I gotta take Monday and Wednesday. Gotta take a shit. Letitia, Fat Tisha, I hope you're losing weight. I hope you're losing weight out here. I will, cause it's the fair week soon. You need to lose weight, bro. Some of the most wholesome women on planet Earth are fat. It's like they're compensating. It's like, bro, you need to be hot and wholesome. I'm kidding. You gotta be skinny and you gotta be wholesome. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Check 1 2. Sorry, I had to lay a log, bro. All right, bro. Nice to see you again. Hope all is well with you. GG. I gotta go walk the dog. Keep your head up. Thanks, finger snap. I'm gonna try, bro. I don't know, man. I think it's because I'm balding. I think the girls don't like me no more because I'm balding. They don't like what real male performance looks like. Batisha. Fatisha. Bro, I've been eating like crazy since my parents got here. They've been like feeding me so much fucking food. Like before them, I just been eating fucking cereal and milk. Now they're like, "Oh, let's go eat the steak real quick at this place." I was like, "Okay." I ate a fucking $50 fucking steak, filet mignon. Good need to eat, you bum? No, it's worldly. You gotta stop eating. Eating is worldly. That's how you get fat and lazy, and you don't want to be that. Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil planning mankind. Also, thank you, I'm Batman, for the subscription. I just now saw that on YouTube. I don't get excited for subs on YouTube because I don't get paid for those ones, but generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. I was talking to this one girl on the internet, Chumby, but we ain't gonna be doing nothing. Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil plotting to mankind. You don't gotta go nowhere, bitch. Where the fuck do you think you're going? Well, I got to go and try to sleep now? No, you don't. It's only 5 a.m. where you're at. You gotta stay up till 8 a.m. You need to stay up till 8 a.m. watching me, the Taz. You haven't been in my streams in so fucking long, and now you're gonna abandon me like that? My honest reaction. My honest reaction. I've been texting you, show up as the same. No, it's not. Not even remotely the same. Bitch. It's not even remotely the same. Someone text nice shirt girl and tell her I love her. Tell her I want a piece of that. I know for a fact living in North Carolina, where the fuck she's at, is not as fun as living with me in my small apartment. She could be buried in my ball sack right now, sniffing it. But no, she chose to sniff lesbian ass instead and get acne. If that's what you want, bro, that's your life, I guess. But you're not living correctly. That's all I'm going to say. My balls smell a lot nicer than dyke ass, that's for sure. I was just thinking about her. Ew, you think about women? What are you gay? What are you gay? What are you thinking about women? Thought she didn't roll that way. What's going on? No, because the picture reminded me of her. What picture? Your picture? Oh. How the fuck did that remind you of her, you fucking dummy?
It makes you think easy times create bad men. Easy times create bad men. You know, no, getting creates bad men. Doesn't anybody know this by now? Doesn't anyone know the disease, the virus, the first one? It's right. That's the first initiation. No, people get that? That's the Golem Maker. All you have to
the Golem Maker. The expression. You mean that one? I look like a Shaolin monk. Torture world, death construction, evil plotting through mankind. Can I go now? I need to be up early. No, fucking bitch! You can't go nowhere. You fucking skank. You gotta stay in here with me in my little box. In my dungeon. You're not going nowhere.
right. That's it.
What the fuck was that? Stop screaming at me. I'm going to scream at you till you drop the weight. Until you lose the pounds that are forsaking your stomach. Your taste in art was engineered by Jews. What the fuck was I gonna look up? Torturer, and I holler. Finally realize he is I. Is it time to go back inside? Is it time to go back inside? Torturer, and I holler. Finally realize he is I. I want to go watch YouTube. No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that, Fräulein. Sorry, Fräulein, you can't do that, bitch. You gotta stay right here. And I holler. Is it time to go back inside? Is it time to go back inside? My favorite silly human has posted a new video. I don't care. You're staying here. Precisely because the clock did not start as a practical tool shaped for a single purpose, it was destined to be the mother of machines. The clock broke down the walls between kinds of knowledge, ingenuity, and skill, and clockmakers were the first consciously to apply the theories of mechanics and physics to the making of machines. Progress came from the collaboration of scientists Galileo, Huygens, Hooke, and others with craftsmen and mechanics. Well, then you're gonna be white noise. Is that better? No. Play Avakin Life? Bro, you keep asking me that. I'm not doing it. But this could be accomplished only by precisely divided and precisely cut to the wheels. Clockmakers developed new, simpler, more precise techniques both for dividing the circumference of a circular metal plate into equal units and for cutting the gear teeth with an efficient profile. Clocks also required precision screws, which in turn required the improvement of the metal lathe. Gears were, of course, the essential connective tissue in a mechanical clock. The teeth in the wheels within the clock were not apt to be accurately spaced or cleanly cut if they were hand-hewn. The first gear-cutting machine of which we have any record is the work of an Italian craftsman, Juanello Torriano of Cremona, 1501 to 1575, who went to Spain in 1540 to make an elegant, large planetary clock for Emperor Charles V. I don't know, man. Just do what I said. Murphy. I don't think so, buddy. Not until you say my name. Say my name correctly. Torriano spent 20 years planning a timepiece with 1,800 gear wheels. Holy fuck. And then 3.5 years building it. So he spent 2 decades of his life planning, building the first clock with 1,800 gear wheels, and then he spent 3.5 years actually making it. So every day, not counting holidays, his friend reported he had to make more than 3 wheels that were different in size, number, and shape of teeth, and in the way in which they are placed and engaged. But in spite of the fact that this speed is miraculous, even more astounding is a most ingenious lathe that he invented to carve out with a file iron wheels to the required dimension and degree of uniformity of the teeth. No wheel was made twice because it always came out right the first time. During Torriano's lifetime, his lathe was already being used by other clockmakers. It appeared to have become the model for the wheel-cutting engines used by the English and French clockmakers in the 17th century, when timepieces were reaching a wider market. Without such a device, it would have been impossible for clocks to be made in large numbers for the commercial market. With such a gear-cutting machine, it was possible to make countless other machines and scientific instruments. You learn something new every day. Isn't that right, Letitia? You better be paying fucking attention to me. The screw, like the gear, was essential for a new world of machines. Its prototypes, like those of the gear, go back to the time of Archimedes or before. An ancient Greek scientist, Hero, his name was Hero, may have devised, that's actually kind of cool. His name was Hero. May have devised a screw cutting tool, but making a simple screw long remained a difficult operation until the mid-19th century, when finally screws were made with points. It was always unnecessary in advance to prepare a hole for the full length of the screw. During the Middle Ages, metal screws were rare. For centuries, the screw was used in the wine press and for irrigation before it was applied to printing and to the pressing of coins. The wooden threaded barrels of wine presses were laboriously made. First, the diagonal channels were marked. Wow, that's crazy. Then cut by hand. Dude, bro, what happened to human beings? We used to be so fucking good at making shit that was intricate and useful. First, the earliest recorded mechanical device for threading a screw was the work of clockmakers. By about 1480, a German clockmaker had devised a remarkable little lathe operated by a crank handle and equipped with what was later known as a compound slide rest. The first all-metal lathes were made by clockmakers, of course. I guess the clockmakers were the de facto engineers of the time. the de facto great engineers. The first all-metal lathes were made by clockmakers and for clockmakers. Later lathes, basic for the machine tool industry, were little more than elaborations of the clockmaker's early design. The pioneer clockmakers of the 17th and 18th centuries proved to be the pioneer lathe makers. Cool. I need to get a lathe. I want to make some gears. Taz, are you okay? I'm more than okay, buddy. I got a new car. I got a new car and a new skateboard and new clothes. Ah. Fuck. And I gotta go do. I gotta do hit legs real quick at the gym. I'm gonna go for a run first. I'm just letting my stomach settle. So no one told you that life was gonna be this way. I'll be there for you. You kind of like Ted Bundy right now? The fuck, bitch? No, I don't. I do not look like Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was a fucking creepy looking man. I am a hot, young, spunky, half Puerto Rican, half German man. An illustrated encyclopedia of traditional symbols. The study of symbolism is not mere erudition. It concerns man's knowledge of himself. Symbolism is an instrument of knowledge and the most ancient and fundamental method of expression, one which reveals aspects of reality which escape other modes of expression. I think it's your hair and facial hair. Maybe, bro. Tell Fat Tisha to stop being fat. Low hanging fruit. It's funny though. I read that in the 70s he was considered a handsome man. Maybe in the 70s, bro. Not by 2026 standards. In 2026, you have to not even be a man to be attractive to women. You have to be something grotesquely different. Although the full portent of the symbol cannot be captured and I can't even fucking read, my eyes are bad. Imprisoned within the confines of any encyclopedia or written word, there exists nevertheless a large body of symbolism which has become traditional over the ages and which constitutes an international language transcending the normal limits of communication. Furthermore, whereas it is impossible to limit the symbol to mere meaning and definition, it is possible to provide or indicate a point of departure for a voyage of exploration, a two-way journey or quest of mind and spirit, of inner depth and outer height, the immanent and the transcendent, the horizontal and the vertical planes. Symbolic usage, mediate in itself, can lead to immediate and to direct apprehension. Symbolism is not only international, it also stretches over the ages. It has the virtue of containing within a few conventional lines the thought of the ages and the dreams of the race. It kindles our imagination and leads us to realms of wordless thought. That quote is attributed to Lin Yutang. This thought is not that of the individual ego. The symbol cannot be created artificially or invented for some purely personal interpretation or whim. It goes beyond the individual to the universal and is innate in the life of the spirit. It is the external or lower expression of the higher truth which is symbolized, and is a means of communicating realities which might otherwise be either obscured by the limitations of language or too complex for adequate expression. Thus, the symbol can never be a mere form, as is the sign, nor can it be understood except in the context of its religious, cultural, or metaphysical background, the soil from which it grew. The symbol is a key to a realm greater than itself and greater than the man who employs it. As Coleridge said, a symbol always partakes of the reality which it renders intelligible, and while it enunciates the whole, abides itself as a living part of that unity of which it is the representative. The symbol does not merely equate, it must reveal some essential part of the subject to be understood. It contains the vast, ever expanding realm of possibilities and makes possible the perception of fundamental relationships between seemingly diverse forms or appearances. Strictly speaking, the symbol differs from the emblem and allegory in that it expresses or crystallizes some aspect or direct experience of life and truth, and thus leads beyond itself. On the other hand, the frontiers between the territories governed by these close relations can be so ill defined that one can lead to the other and provide a bridge by which it is possible to cross and recross from one to the other. Although the symbol captures and integrates abstractions and places them in their effective context, it can also be effective on more than one level at the same time. The emblem or attribute usually portrays something concrete, but can in turn embody some symbolic quality. Thus, attributes and emblems of divinities may also be symbols of the cosmos, its laws and functions. Here, a large measure of syncretism occurs. A symbol need not arise from any one source, but can adapt or respond to different ages, religions, cults, and civilizations. Exclusiveness is a primitive and immature characteristic. Debatable. The symbol is inclusive and expansive, and there may be many and diverse applications of the same symbol, which can become ambivalent or polyvalent in accordance with its subsidiary connections. Jose, are you still there, bro? I feel like syncretism is like a native thing because I did a lot of that shit. The Abrahamic religions don't have any of that, so it's very exclusive. So him saying this in the introduction, debatable, you know what I mean? Saying exclusiveness is a primitive and immature characteristic, I don't really agree with that. The symbol is inclusive and expansive. I don't know. That's debatable too. You said there may be many and diverse applications of the same symbol, which can become ambivalent or polyvalent in accordance to the subsidiary connections. I mean, yeah, that's true, but just because there's many different applications doesn't really mean that that the essence of the symbol is being portrayed accurately. Just like with Nazi symbols of the swastika. You know, it was co-opted by that regime. Yeah, I'm eating rallies. What the heck's rallies? A symbol may also have both an esoteric and exoteric meaning, so that the most obvious and usual interpretation is not necessarily complete and can be merely a half-truth. It may both reveal and conceal. So, I mean, that in and of itself is esoteric, don't you think? Something that doesn't reveal the whole truth. But what do I know? Much of symbolism directly concerns the dramatic interplay and interaction of the opposing forces in the dualistic world of manifestations. There are conflicting but also complementary and compensating characteristics, and their final union symbolized by the androgyne or the sacred marriage. These are expressions of the unity of life, which is the central point of all traditional symbolism. As the tree of life, axial, unifying, and either evergreen or perpetually renewed, stands at the center of paradise, and the spring at its roots gives rise to the rivers of life, so man's thought and aspiration, embodied in the myth and symbol, center on unity in life. Traditional symbolism assumes that the celestial is primordial and that the terrestrial is but a reflection or image of it. The higher contains the meaning of the lower. The celestial is not only primordial but eternal, and confers on the symbol that underlying power which has remained effective over the ages and continues so to the extent that it evokes the sense of the sacred and leads to a power beyond itself. This is very Platonic. Symbolism is basic to the human mind. To ignore it is to suffer a serious deficiency. It is fundamental to thinking, and the perfect symbol should satisfy every aspect of man, his spirit, intellect, and emotions. All religious rites have a symbolic significance and quality without the understanding of which they become empty and superstitious. In ceremonial, there is a wide symbolism of attitude and posture, such as the mudras and postures of supplication or submission, of direction assumed in prayer and worship, of sound and movement, all profoundly meaningful and interwoven in the fabric of human nature and needs. As Dean Inge says of symbols, indifference to them is not, as many have supposed, a sign of enlightenment and spirituality. It is, in fact, an unhealthy symptom. Mircea Eliade sees in the recovery of symbolism the chance to rescue modern man from his cultural provincialism and, above all, from his historical and existentialist relativism. Fast food, stop eating that shit, bro. It's not good for you. The pattern adopted in this encyclopedia is first to present the generalized or universal acceptance of the interpretation of a symbol, then to particularize its diverse applications in varying traditions, cultural and geographic. Where no tradition is specified, it is indicative of an accepted meaning wherever that particular symbol occurs. Finally, no encyclopedia of symbolism can ever hope to be complete. The symbol is living and ever expanding. I gotta buy this book, bro. This is sick. Is that a vagina? What the fuck? I think it kind of looks like a. It kind of is shaped like a. Vesica piscis, almond shape. What is that? The Vesica Piscis is an almond-shaped geometric figure formed by the intersection of two circles of equal radius, where the center of each circle lies on the perimeter of the other. I'm sure it's deliberate that it looks like that. In his vision of the Blessed Gabriel, Crivelli encloses the Virgin and Child in an almond-shaped Vesica Piscis, formed by the two intersecting circles, symbolic of each of the holy persons' all perfection. Interesting. Ablutions, purification, initiation, alchemic. In the magnum opus, the soul is purified by washing, and the change takes place from black to gray to white. Buddhist ablutions at the initiation of a monk represent the washing away of the past as a layman. Christian innocence. The lavabo, the washing of the priest's hands, signifies, I will wash mine hands in innocency. Islamic, an important rite, the return of man to primordial purity. Okay, so it's a cleansing, a purification process is what that means. Abnormality is ambivalent, but generally anything abnormal contains magic possibilities or powers, often chthonic or chthonic. I usually pronounce it like that.
Chthonic.
Chthonic. Okay, there we go. Taz, I came all the way to Moreno Valley just to eat this. They don't have one where I'm at. Bro, stop eating that. You could have went to a place that actually gives you good stuff. You could have went to a steakhouse, bro. What are you doing? Jose said, I'm about to travel all the way to this place to eat some shit. I'm just kidding, bro. Often chthonic. Bringers of luck, such as hunchbacks and dwarves, have positive powers. On the other hand, the cross-eyed are unlucky, as is the abnormality of a crowing hen, cock crow at night, or the scream of the owl in daylight, or an out-of-season flower. Abyss, ambivalent, as both the profundity of the depth and as abasement and inferiority. The watery abyss is the primordial source of the universe, the mother goddess, the underworld. In Gnostic symbolism, it is supreme being, the author of the eons. No. Acacia. In Mediterranean countries, it represents life, immortality, platonic love, retirement. As having both white and red flowers, it denotes life and death, death and rebirth. Its thorns are the horns of the crescent moon. Christian, immortality, a moral life. One tradition suggests that the crown of thorns was made of acacia, with the dual purpose of mocking and using the sacred Hebrew wood. Egyptian, solar, rebirth, immortality, initiation, innocence. Emblem of Neith, Hebrew, the shittah tree, the sacred wood of the tabernacle. Immortality, a moral life, innocence. It is also funerary, mourning. I'm reading the Encyclopedia of Symbols. It's called An Illustrated Encyclopedia of Traditional Symbols by J.C. Cooper, published in 1987. So acacia, that's a pretty cool thing, made of wood. The acacia wood is, or am I pronouncing that right?
Acacia.
Oh, acacia. Okay, acacia. Let's pronounce acacia. Acacia. So acacia, that's the tree. That was what the wood was made out of for the crown of thorns, apparently. That's one tradition, though. They actually don't know for sure if it was made out of that. Holy fuck, it's already gonna be 10 o'clock? Dude, where does the time fucking go? We've been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes. Acanthus. In Mediterranean countries, it is life, immortality, the horns of the lunar crescent, veneration of the arts. There's a lot of horns of the lunar crescent here. It's kind of odd. The acacia and the acanthus. In Christianity, the thorns represent pain, sin, and its punishment. I keep forgetting you live in Texas. Yeah, buddy. So Acanthus is a genus of about 30 species of flowering plants in the family Acanthaceae, native to tropical and warm temperate regions. And they are colloquially termed bear's breeches. Bear's breeches, Acanthus mollis and Acanthus spinosus, are striking architectural perennial plants native to the Mediterranean, famous for their massive, glossy, deeply lobed leaves, which famously inspired Greek Corinthian column designs. Really? That's cool. They produce dramatic flower spikes reaching up to 6 feet tall, with white, cream, and purple-pink blooms in summer. Huh. Aconite, Greco-Roman, crime, the poison of words, coolness, sacred to Saturn, grew where the saliva of Cerberus fell, a witch flower. So you don't want to be fucking with that, apparently. Also called wolf's bane, aconitum, also called monkshood, monkshood or aconite, is a striking, highly toxic perennial herb in the buttercup family, native to cool mountain regions of the northern hemisphere. It features tall spikes of distinct hood-shaped flowers, usually deep blue or purple, and dark green, deeply lobed leaves. Taz, no offense, but can you do story time? Like a personal story? Is that what you want from me? Is that what you want, bro? So aconite contains powerful toxins like aconitine that attack the nervous and cardiac systems. Ingesting even extremely small amounts or absorbing it through the skin causes fast numbness, severe vomiting, dangerous heart rhythms, and can lead to death. So that is a very, very powerful, deadly plant. Fuck, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, preferably. LOL. You just like drama. I guess I could tell you what happened the other day. I bought some new clothes from the Vans store. I bought I got a custom made skateboard for me. I'm gonna be riding around it soon. And this cute girl did for me, and my parents took a liking to her, and they were like, "Hey, she might." But you know how parents are, right? They don't really catch vibes like younger people do, because they're not in it anymore. But she was just being nice because that's her fucking job to be nice. So when I was talking to her, I was trying to like gauge interest to see if she was actually like gonna bite or like have any kind of thing going there. So while we were like talking, she was like telling me how she was like an orphan, that she moved here from California like years ago when she was a little girl. And I think she's attractive, so I'm just like, well, okay, I'm not gonna ask for her number outright because that's weird. I'm gonna see if she's actually interested first. So how I usually do that when I talk to women is, I say things like, since she was really into skating, I was like, yeah, I kind of need more like skate friends, like skateboarding friends, stuff like that. That's how I kind of open the door for her to see if she's gonna like be like, interested. And she was just like, yeah, you can probably meet friends at like the skate parks or shit. Like, yeah, when she started saying that, when a woman like says something like general like that, instead of like, extending out and like offering, at that point it's like, okay, she's not really interested. She's just kind of being nice. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to pursue that then. I was just like, okay. So that was it. And then after I got all my shit and left the store, my dad was like, did you get her number? And I was like, no. I was like, that's weird. He's like, that's weird. And I was like, yeah, because, just she wasn't feeling me. She was just kind of doing her job. So, like how a waitress or like a hooker is nice to you. That's what they were doing. She wasn't interested. Nah. And you can always kind of feel it, with people. She was only really interested in like money right now. It seemed like, because she was like a manager and she's trying to like get more money. And I think she would have only been interested if I had more money, because I was like, she tried to see if like like she asked like where I was like from, I think, and I was like, oh, I live like in apartments. She was like, where do I work? I was like, I work as like a security guard, like over by like the outdoor mall and shit. And she's like, oh, okay. And she's like, do you like live? It's like, no, I don't really live there, because to live like above the mall, you have to be pretty wealthy. They cost a lot of money to live over there. So she asked me if I lived there with her eyes all fucking bugged and shit. I'm like, no, I don't live there. Sorry to disappoint you, but I live next to it, not on top of it. So it is what it is. I ain't gonna get denied like that, motherfucker. Shit. What do you think it is? I don't think she liked me because of my hairline. It's too receded. Alright, it's gonna be 10 o'clock, guys. I need to go do my jogging and then go do some legs. So, oh fuck, my mom texted me. Did you know an almond symbolizes virginity? Apparently, almonds symbolize virginity, the self-productive, the yoni, conjugal happiness. It is also the Vesica piscis, which in art often surrounds virgin queens of heaven. The mandorla. I don't know what that is. As the first flower of the year, the blossom is the awakener. Hence, it depicts watchfulness. It also represents sweetness, charm, and delicacy. Chinese, feminine beauty, fortitude in sorrow, watchfulness. For Christians, divine favor and approval, the purity of the Virgin. Hebrew, skekt, to waken and watch. Iranian, the tree of heaven. Phrygian, the father of all things, spring. It is associated with the birth of Attis, the almond having sprung from the male genitalia of the androgynous Sibyl. Have you made any new friends? No. Aloe, bitterness, but also integrity and wisdom, sacred to Zeus/Jupiter. Alpha, the beginning, the first principle from which all things proceed. Alpha and Omega represent the totality, the beginning and the end. Like the Hindu Om, or see Om, they symbolize the entire range of sounds, also infinity. Alpha and Omega are sometimes portrayed by the eagle and owl, day and night. And in Christianity, they appear with the cross and the Chi-Rho. The Chi-Rho is an ancient Christian symbol formed by overlapping the first two Greek letters Chi, which is an X, and Rho, which looks like a P, of the word Christos, or Christ. It was famously used as a military standard by Emperor Constantine after a vision before the Battle of Milvian Bridge, helping popularize Christianity across the Roman Empire. That's kind of cool. So the meaning and design of the Chai Rho, the letters combined Chai and Rho, representing the first two letters of Jesus Christ's name in Greek. Often flanked by the first and last letters of the Greek alphabet, Alpha and Omega, signifying Jesus as the beginning and the end. Serves as a Christogram, a monogram for Christ, used to mark early Christian tombs, manuscripts, and places of worship. Taz, I graduated from high school almost 2 years ago. It's going to be 10 years ago in 2 seconds, buddy. I'm just kidding. I believe you'll find a girlfriend soon, Taz. Everyone's saying that. I don't believe them. I should go for a run. I should probably go. Guys, I'm going to go do legs. It's 10 fucking at night. I need to go for a run before I get too tired, so I'm going to head out. I'm going to be back on probably the day after tomorrow. I don't know. I actually have work the day after. Well, yeah. So my parents can be gone on Friday, so I have one day left with them, so. All right, gang. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go do some shit. I just want to see you guys again for a little bit. Oh, an albatross typifies long, tireless flight in distant oceans, forecasts bad weather and high winds. It can embody the soul of a dead sailor, hence killing it is unlucky. Alcohol, alchemic. The aqua vitae is both fire and water, the conjunction of opposites. The coincidentia oppositorum, the male and female, active and passive both in a state of creation and destruction. Alder, associated with, I'm surprised they don't have any other interpretations of alcohol, just the alchemic one. It's kind of weird. Alder, associated with death and with the smith's fire and the power of evaporation. It's 8 p.m. It's 10 p.m. where I live, buddy. So I gotta go. I'm gonna go for a little run, and then I'm gonna go do some legs real quick, and then I have to go back home and sleep and shit. So. Alright, guys. See ya the day after tomorrow. Friday night.